Welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're having a good day, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Yes, sir. Vitamin C. That's usually one of the first dietary supplements that people take. Years ago, it was a fave. Everybody was taking vitamin C for a lot of different reasons. And even youngsters, when you talk to children, you talk to them about vitamins and minerals, they know about vitamin C. Orange juice and whatnot, right? That's how they get introduced to it. A story came in this morning about vitamin C. This is interesting. Looks like a legitimate study. We're going to talk about it. And it gets, usually you wouldn't say vitamin C and leukemia in the same sentence. Right? Well, apparently, there seems to be some evidence to suggest that perhaps it can, I don't know, prevent is the word they used. Really? Well, we'll talk about it. Then I want to share something with you. It seems a little off the beaten path maybe, but not really, because this is an evidence-based show, as you know. And one of the things that I need to do all the time is, when I report on these studies, is to get my mitts on them and to look at the methods section and to see sample size. How did they collect? Is it a random sample? Was it a convenience sample? Who are the researchers? Any conflicts of interest? Is it a flim-flam study or what? One of the things that I always worried about as a researcher when collecting data from respondents was, are they telling me the truth? That comes up in this study today, and it has implications about respondents in a study not telling the truth to the researcher. Can't always assume that people will do that. And in this particular piece of research that they did to find out that in smoking cessation programs, people are not telling the truth to the researchers. There are heavy implications with that. So we'll report on those two studies. That second study is just a way for me to share with you that not all science is perfect, and that this notion that it's totally objective and that everybody's honest, researchers as well as those who are participants in the study and so on, is not necessarily true. Scientists are humans. And humans being what they are, yeah? So we'll take a look at that, and we'll discuss it a bit. Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue is the guest today. And you're always invited to call the show. That's why we came in here, and that's why we do it. You want me to move this? What do you want me to do? You want me to move? Okay. If you're watching the show, there you go. Gary was moving the camera. And we show up here to do the show for the audience, for you.
We have a great following right now, and it's unbelievable how we're growing. And social media and how we're adding, like we add the stories that you talk about. So if you ever want to look at one of the stories, go to our Facebook page, Let's Talk Nutrition, and usually the stories that Doc's talking about are put up on our Facebook page.
We stream live on Facebook and YouTube and at letstalknutrition.com. The company that provides that stream, right?
Yes.
We were taking a look at their analyses of who and where, not who, how many and where go to Let's Talk Nutrition to watch the show. Tokyo,
Frankfurt,
Germany,
Sydney,
Australia.
Where else? Texas, huge following in Chicago, the Chicagoland area.
Florida, of course.
Yeah, of course, Florida. Virginia.
New York.
And it's in
Africa.
Yeah, Africa. I couldn't believe that one. I couldn't believe
I know we're in Russia because I got emails from Russia.
Yeah.
I better be careful.
Yeah.
Just gonna say you're gonna get yourself caught up in a story there, Doc.
God. Right. You don't want to say emails in Russia in the same sentence or these
I
days.
just went over the airwaves. She knows going to be knocking at the door.
It was I just really, it's pretty funny.
Non-political, Doc. Non-political.
No, we don't do politics here. But
with the good thing is with the stream, we replay the stream on our Let's Talk Nutrition homepage. So if you missed a show and you want to watch it streamed, you can go to our Let's Talk Nutrition homepage and rewatch the shows.
It's on demand.
They're all in order by the day, the month, and the day. So you
title and all that. Yeah. And also there's audio under. Gary, please, the next meeting, please, I'm begging you, please change that heading show schedule. That doesn't tell the visitor anything. It doesn't say show schedule. It says it says show schedule, but the other one is multimedia.
Right.
Show schedule should be aired shows or something. We got to change some of those headings because my article's under multimedia. No, man. There needs to be a heading that says articles.
It's at the bottom of the page, on the front page. You go to the bottom of the front page there, at the very bottom.
I don't like to be the bottom of anything, brother. It needs to be at the top. Okay.
Well, that's where the video is.
Okay.
So the video's on top. Kidding. Yeah, I know. It's one of the great things about now that we're doing this with our multimedia and everything. Aspects of it is you can also go and find our sponsors on the page too.
Right.
And
we hide nothing. The one thing that we don't post, and I've been asked why don't we put on our page all the markets that we're in, and we don't. You don't want to know why? Because there are stations out there that pirate the show.
Yeah.
They pirate the show. They'll and I don't know how exactly that works, Stephen. I'll have to ask Gordon. But that's why we don't do it. And do you know much about that?
Not really. I mean, there's ways that, they could either just grab the full show from, a download, maybe even the website, and then just play it back that way. But
yeah, no, I'm talking about stations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, they would take the show and then, get the full recording of it and then play it back on their station. That
in their market, because we're in that market, like
right
wherever we are, Northeast, Midwest, out West. So that's why we don't do it. We're close to 60 markets now.
And if you want to call the show,
please do.
At 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. It can be on any health topic. Doc, we have open lines even when the guests are here.
Please call us.
They'd love to answer your questions, especially if you're somebody that's dealing with a health issue, and they can help you out.
Yeah. We're here for you.
877-897-8255.
Dr. Kate will be along, and then I'll tell you about these two studies.
If you've ever had digestive issues slow you down,
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figure's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by. 877-897-8255.
Are you squinching down in your chair?
I'm not squinching down in my chair.
I just want to make sure you're comfortable.
No, I'm good. Sit up.
I think they moved the chairs. I think they moved the chairs around when we're not here just to mess with us.
I know. All the idiosyncrasies. Smoking. Well, we could go on about that. Don't want to do that. And people try mightily to quit. and some people get involved in these cessation programs that become part of a study. There's a new study published in the journal called Addiction, appropriately named. And in this study, they discovered that a very significant proportion of smokers enrolled in stop smoking programs while in a hospital during a hospital stay reported to the researchers that they, or to others, not the researchers, but others, doctors or whomever, who's ever heading up the program, that they quit. When in fact, they did not. This raises all kinds of implications as to the effectiveness of these programs. And if you're getting false data that this program, say that a significant proportion of the people in the program are lying, and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is a great program, it really works, and you keep doing it, and you're really not helping a lot of people. This was a nationwide study. It followed 5 large smoking cessation clinical trials. This is science now, that enrolled smokers at hospitalization. After a 6-month follow-up, there were 822 people out of 4,206 who completed the survey who reported they had quit smoking in the past 7 days. And then they provided and this is where they got caught. They provided a usable saliva sample to see if it was true. They test for a chemical called cotinine. Turns out the liver will convert nicotine and into cotinine, and this is a very precise measure of whether someone, in fact, has quit smoking in the past few days. Now, if you do the math, if you're really good in math, Gary, if you take 4,206 and you take 822 of those people, do the division, and you'll find that 822 is 40%. Lied. More than 40% of those 822 self-reported quitters failed the saliva test. I stand corrected. It was not of the 4,000. 822. They started with 4,000, and then they called out 822. 40%. What's 40% of 822, Stephen? 40% of 822 self-reported quitters were in fact still smoking. That's stunning. As a researcher, I collected my share of data in my career. That's what, 350? Around 350 people of the 822 that they really looked at with this test, this biomarker, were not telling the truth. I always worried when I collected data, especially large sample survey data. And you have to assume that the respondents are telling you the truth. But not always.
Jimmy said it's the hardest thing he's ever tried to do in his entire life is try to quit smoking.
Absolutely. There are 2 things that are a measure of a person's ability to follow through on something so difficult. Losing weight. There are 3, really. I mean, smoking, losing weight, drug addiction generally. Losing weight and smoking are very difficult. Some say quitting smoking is harder than quitting heroin.
It's unbelievable.
And when you look at how the smoking affects the brain, when you look at it closely, you can see why. And these poor souls lied. They weren't lying because they're bad people. They didn't tell the truth because they were embarrassed. And they wanted the researchers to feel good or feel better about them. This is interesting to me as a researcher. This is intriguing. Dr. Tanisha Schuerman said, our study shows that in studies where participants may feel pressure to say they have quit when they have not, it is essential to verify claims of quitting using an objective test such as cotinine to know true quit rates. Close quote. There's more, but there are more than a few people listening to this and watching this show that smoke. I never smoked. I got lung cancer.
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
science being what it is, you always think that that's always the absolute truth. And scientists are objective. And, well, scientists are human, and so are the participants in studies. And sometimes the data are not what they are. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. This study is intriguing to me as a researcher. When I was thinking about all the studies I've done, all the data I've collected in my career, and I often have wondered, and I was taught in my training, I had great professors in my research methods classes, master's and PhD level. We talked about it a lot. How do you know and how do you check for honesty by the participants in the study? In this study, the people were involved in a smoking cessation program, and there were 822 of them, and then they were interviewed. And when they were interviewed, they gave a blood sample. And out of the 822, when they looked at the cotinine in the liver will convert nicotine into cotinine, and this is a very good measure, reliable measure, they found that 40% of the 822 were not telling the truth. They had not quit. And it's not that these are bad people. Quitting smoking is a formidable challenge. Some people would rather, I don't know what. If you can quit smoking, you can become an astronaut. You can do anything in your life you want to. Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue is my guest. And Dr. Bleue is an educator for natural factors. And Dr. Bleue is a regular featured guest on Let's Talk Nutrition. We now have a feature. The next time she's on, we're going to be able to show her. We can do it today, but we asked just the last minute. She's not prepared to do that. For the next time, though, you're going to get to see her, if you like. Because now we have video chat. We figured out, or Gary did, not me. I'm just a talent around here. What do I know? Gary figured out how to integrate the video chat into the streaming, and now you'll be able to see the guest instead of just hearing their voice. Dr. Kate, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to have you on, and I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very well, thanks. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. Are you going to Baltimore?
You know what? I'm not this year going to Baltimore. I was invited to speak there about vitamin K2, and I was already triple booked. I've got local events, speaking engagements here, so I will not be in Baltimore this year.
Well, then I'm not going. What are you doing now? You wrote a book, and what's this? What? I missed it. What did you say?
Well, I was invited to speak in Baltimore about vitamin K2, which is the subject of my book, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And but I was already booked for, I booked 6 months ago or more other speaking engagements without realizing the timing of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I was looking forward to seeing you in person. But
that would be fun sometime soon.
Well, we're gonna next time you come on, would you be comfortable if we had you on a video chat? People can see you as you're talking to us and to them.
Definitely. Oh, for sure. We'll definitely set that up for next time. Technically, I wasn't prepared for that this morning. I got to hook up my internet and whatnot. But
yeah, all you need is a laptop with a camera. Mm-hmm. And then Gary will get your email address, and he can. It's very simple. It takes about 4 minutes to make the hookup, and we may be one of the only or one among the very, very few terrestrial health talk radio shows syndicated across the country that has this feature.
It's so nice to be able to put faces to familiar voices and familiar names, and you do get a little bit more out of it that way.
It connects you to the audience, Dr. Bleue, Kate Rheaume-Bleue. It does. And that's what it's about. You know what people ask me about guests?
What?
Do you trust them?
Ah.
They ask me, Doc, do you trust them? I said, if they're on the show, that means I trust them. Now, some guests, I guess such as yourself, that's well trained. I looked at your credentials, and we vet people. You know, it's not an insult. It's my job. I am very comfortable. You know, I trust your judgment. I looked at your background. I see what you're doing. And because how I see you is how the listener or viewer might see you as well. And my producers give me feedback. And it's critical that happens, that you connect and that the audience. There are three things that have to happen with the guest. And with me, too, with the audience. First, they have to like you. If they like you, then that increases the chance that they will believe you. And if they believe you, then you have a chance to persuade them. But if they don't like you, I don't care who you are. And I don't care what you're selling or what you're saying and how many initials you have behind your name. They will not believe you, and you'll not be able to persuade them more often than not.
That is absolutely true.
And that I learned that as a trial and I learned that 30 years ago, but that was really true in my trial and jury consulting work and picking juries and doing that kind of work. And it turned out to be true on this show. The guests that are really popular on the show are guests that people like. They don't ask me did Dr. Kate go to the Canadian College of Naturopath? They don't ask me that question. They ask me, do you trust them? Do you like that person? They will literally ask me. It's interesting so that they can make a judgment as to whether or not they should do what you're suggesting they should do. Fascinating stuff.
It is. I think that works across the board. I've heard, when you're applying for a job, credentials are important, experience is important, knowledge is important, but at the end of the day, people will judge you on, do they want to have lunch with you? That kind of thing is also very important.
Yeah. Would you take a long cab? Would you take a cab ride with that person sitting next to him and have to talk to him and deal with him and get caught in traffic in Manhattan? You're in that cab for 30 minutes. Right? You get my point, right? Well, we like you. You're a straight shooter. So,
thank you.
What did you serve up? What do you want to serve up today?
Inflammation? I'd love to talk about it. It's on my mind.
All right. We'll get you to do that then. Here's a number to call.
877-897-8255. 877-897-8255.
People communicate to connect.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Can you imagine Gary, my producer, weighs, how much you weigh now?
283.
And a Mazda Miata. Are you nuts?
6 foot. 6 foot, 283. I have a size 13 shoe.
Please, go get a truck. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. My guest is Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue. Dr. Kate wouldn't even get in that Miata. Come on, man. What's the matter with you? Hi, Dr. Kate.
Hi.
I want to get your take on this. This study about, and we'll get to inflammation. I just want to hear your take on it. And I don't know if in your training they talked about studies and research and methods and all that, but that's my background. In this study, they had 822 people who they surveyed. They were put into a smoking cessation program. They were hospitalized, and they were put into the program. And they went through the program and so on. And then at one point, they interviewed them, and then they took a blood test. Out of the 822, 40% of them did not tell the researchers, did not tell the people in the program the truth. They really didn't quit smoking. 40% of the 822. This study was a study of smoking cessation programs that were in clinical trials. Interesting. What do you make of that, and what do you think about that?
I think that's so fascinating, and I would love to find out whether they, delved further to look at the reasons why people weren't honest about their smoking cessation. Was it, and maybe those reasons vary. Some people maybe wanted to please the researchers. Others maybe were ashamed of not successfully quitting smoking. To me, it's more like, maybe that's human nature to a certain extent, but understanding what the reasons are behind that, what the motivation is, is really fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating. I think some, like you said, could be embarrassed. They were, they wanted to please the research. It could be any number of reasons. Do you do clinical work, or are you not doing clinical work?
I'm not currently doing clinical work. No, I was stretched a bit too thin with that, so I put my practice on hold. And, that's right.
Do you ever worry about the patient not telling you the truth? Do you see where I'm going with this now?
Sometimes. Occasionally. I'd like to think I have a good sense of that. And I think there are certain areas where, you know that people may tend to not be as truthful. And sometimes that is really that they're unaware. When it comes to diet, people aren't always truthful about their diet, but that may be as well a misperception. Typically, when somebody gives you a diet diary, you want to know, well, what should you be eating? Write that down and give it in. They will always say, well, this isn't typical. This isn't typical. And yet, for the most part, it is typical.
The implications of this move beyond this was these smokers were in clinical these were clinical settings, and these were smoking cessation programs. This was within a clinical context. This was a study about those programs, right? So this is interesting. And I often wonder, how often does the patient lie to the doctor or not be truthful? Because for one reason, because maybe they want medications, certain meds, pain pills, sleeping pills, whatever, opioids of one sort or another. That goes on, doesn't it?
Sure, yeah. Maybe some people just don't want to quit smoking or don't want to change their diet or any of those things.
All right. I just wondered what your take was. As a researcher, I always was concerned about, are the participants telling me the truth? And you try to ask questions in the surveys that would check for that. But, you try to be clever. But I figured out that sometimes the participants in the study are more clever than the researchers. Why did you want to talk about inflammation? Of all the things that you could talk about, you chose that. Why?
It's been on my mind a lot lately, and I'm just sort of realizing I've known for a while, but it just keeps coming back, how to what a great extent inflammation is a factor in every condition and any condition you can think of, whether the condition is painful or not. And inflammation affecting everything from cancer to mood to obvious things like arthritis, the itises, the painful stuff. We know inflammation is a factor, and yet it is there on levels with every condition. And unless we're addressing that, it can be a real challenge to manage or successfully treat any health condition.
So, from colds to cancer is what you're saying. And why is inflammation, why does it get explain to the listener and the viewer why that is the case, why it is always at the scene of the health crime.
Well, ironically, it's always there because, in fact, it's a healing response.
Exactly.
Inflammation is our body's way of healing from any kind of injury, infection, irritation, you name it. The body will produce inflammation to help heal from that. And so, to a certain extent, and when it's working properly and in small doses, inflammation is a good thing. But it becomes problematic when it doesn't stop when it should, when it gets out of control, when the thing that we're trying to heal from, something there's other factors that are promoting the inflammation, so we can't heal and can't turn off the inflammation appropriately. So it can get out of control and become problematic. And it does a little bit of damage, a little bit of harm in the attempt to do good. And so if the inflammation doesn't get turned off appropriately, then that can lead to long-term problems. But it's always there because it's a healing response, or it's trying to be.
The world of health, wellness, well-being, and nutrition is more often than not characterized by paradox than not. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those overarching paradoxes, whereas Dr. Blue succinctly points out, inflammation is to be your friend. It is part of your immune system. It is to help you recover from an infection or an injury. But it can turn out to be one of your greatest enemies and just erode your health, wellness, and well-being. We'll find out what's on Dr. Kate's mind about how do you manage it. Very difficult. Control's an illusion. I don't believe in control. I hate to sound philosophical about that. Control's an illusion. Let it go. I did that 30 or more years ago. Man, that was liberating. You're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing, even if you just happen to stumble upon the show because you were fumbling with the dial and all that traffic or whatever you're doing. We'll take an audience member any way we can get it. Stick around. If you're new to the show and you just happen to find it, you never know. Something may come up that could help you change the status of your health, put you on the right path. You may hear something that will intrigue you. We have great guest today. As a matter of fact, Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue knows what she's talking about. It's going to be focused on inflammation, which is it gets implicated in one of the biggest paradoxes in health. And that is, it can be your friend, it can be your foe. It's because it's hooked up to your immune system, and boy, it can go haywire and just devastate quality of life. We'll get into it. During the break, Gary pointed out to me, Mark Wahlberg and the Wahlberg brothers have a restaurant called Wahlburger. And apparently they're serving a Wahlberg burger. Right?
Right.
And this burger looks, smells, tastes like, has the texture of meat, but it is not. And if you go to impossiblefoods.com, you can learn about it. I'm focusing on this story because I find it intriguing that you hear me say all the time, improve your plant-to-meat ratio in your diet, and you'll be better off when the ratio is such that you're eating more plants than you are meat. And I say, I'm sticking with the plants. This is a plant-based product.
Entirely plant-based.
Entirely.
No
GMOs, meat. There's no animal products in here. Right, Gary?
Right. None.
Can you show a picture of it?
Yeah, let me see if I can find one.
If they're serving it in LA, Las Vegas, and other places. If I were in Vegas, I'd be eating one of those. I mean, just to look at it. I don't eat meat. I eat a whole food, plant-based diet, no meat, no dairy. I'd eat that burger. And it's really intriguing. Apparently, they're running into some problems with the FDA. What's the issue? I don't know.
The problem is with the FDA is, one, the Meat Industry Council has a huge lobby. This is a small company. It's about the size of this building out in San Francisco. I've watched like 2 videos on it, a YouTube, and they did an episode last night on Wahlburgers on it. And they are actually hand making the patties themselves before they ship them out. And this is what's amazing about this burger is everything that they use in this burger is almost cutting edge technology.
Right. And I looked at the ingredients. Impossible Foods. This show's about educating. It's not just about blood test biology and all that. This is fair game. Impossible Foods, you might want to go to their website. This is a company that it's a Silicon Valley startup. And what their mission is to make the global food system more sustainable. That's a worthy effort. I'll get involved in that project. They say that the FAST team includes scientists, engineers, chefs, farmers, and foodies. I would love to be in that meeting any day of the week. I love that kind of heterogenic mix. The first product is the Impossible Burger, they said. It tastes great, and you can feel great about it because the Impossible Burger is made entirely from plants, close quote. It is not gluten-free. It does contain wheat, so it does contain gluten, but it's 100% plant-based. They said vegan. I don't like to use that term vegan, but that's just me. You can go to New York, L.A., Lost Wages, Texas, San Francisco. That's where they're serving it up. I asked Gary if he could get in touch with either Mark Wahlberg or one of his brothers, publicist, and get him on the show to talk about it. Why am I doing that? Because sometimes you can transition somebody from a meat-based diet to a plant-based diet by getting them involved in these foods. See what I'm doing? That's what I would do that's what I do with clients.
If I was allowed to, I would show you where they have the staff at a hotel brings Mark Wahlberg the burger. He doesn't know what he's eating. They go, here, we need you to try this because your brother sent it.
Right.
And he eats it, and he goes, oh, this is really good. He goes, and the guy goes, well, what do you think about it? He goes, there's nothing bad in this burger. He's like, getting ready to cut a promo on the guy, and the guy's like, no. He goes, it's 100% plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark and he's like, we need to get this. This is...
Well, I don't understand. What's the meat lobby trying to do? Get the FDA to shut them down or what?
Yes.
On what basis?
Because it's... Okay, so to make a...
Did anybody die from eating this burger?
No, but so here's the comparison. A quarter-pound meat burger takes 2.3 to 7.4 kilograms of CO2 emissions.
Exactly.
To make. This burger takes 0.8 kilograms.
And there's no manure.
23 gallons of water to raise a cow. For slaughter and the crops. 6 gallons just for the crops. Okay. It goes from anywhere to 250 square feet for growing and raising feed. Just for feed.
I know.
4.5 to make the whole burger. 4.5 square feet to make the whole burger.
All right. Now, that all being said, red meat has its place. I don't eat it. I haven't consumed red meat in decades. But that doesn't mean that's fit for everybody else. I'm into plant-meat ratio. Okay? We can talk about that. I don't want to get off the track here about this burger. Headway is being made by, and let me be candid. I'm headed off to Baltimore. You heard her ask me, Dr. Kate, if she was going to be there. All kind of natural food products. I must tell you, some of the vegan burgers, I wouldn't slop hogs with it. Taste terrible. I bought some the other day. I tried to eat it. I said, this is not consumable. And I threw it in the garbage.
Well, meat.
And I won't tell you the brands.
Well, meat, dairy, and eggs are triggers of inflammation.
Well, I've been saying that for a long time. You're right. And people get crazy with me when I say the egg is not the perfect food. In fact, I relying upon Dr. Esselstyn, Dr. Barnard, and several others can make an argument the egg is maybe one of the more imperfect foods. People want to throw eggs at me when I say that.
When Tom Brady, who can hold up his hand and have 5 Super Bowl rings, has switched to a plant-based diet.
Thank you. Now, I'm not on a campaign to ban meat. No way. No way. I'm just saying, products like this have a purpose. Some of these in the natural products industry, some of these meat impersonating products that they have they taste rank. I'm telling you the truth. I don't like them.
Well, we went to the grocery store. It's
like eating the box. Now, if I could find something like that, I'd eat it. I'm just saying. Stick with the plants. Stick with the plants. Once in a while, get the meat in. Eating meat 4 times a week. LTN Coast to Coast. Dr. Kate will be right with us.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension. Exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Trying to get Big Boy, not the big boy in California standing out front with holding the burger, not that big boy. One of my technical producers, Gary Gilkey, to start training with me. I'm headed back to the gym soon after 10 months of, you know the story. Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue is my guest. Enjoy her very much. Dr. Kate, do you eat meat?
I do eat meat. Yeah.
How much?
I eat very little red meat. I don't even know if I'm eating that once a week these days. I don't know, a few times a week, maybe 3 to 4. For me, the meat, though, it's extremely important where it comes from. I have a local grass-fed producer, as well as the poultry. I'm sourcing all of my meats locally from small grass-fed producers.
I see. Okay.
It's interesting. She had to think about it, though, Doc, because she doesn't eat it that much.
Well,
I mean, every time we talk to somebody else, it's like, yeah, like 6 times a week.
I was just curious. Gary made a good point. There are inflammation-producing foods. Of course, the processed foods, cookies, crackers, cakes, chips, cupcakes, croissants, colas, they can be very inflammation-inducing. But so can meat and dairy consumed in high quantities. Yes?
Consumed in high quantities, definitely. And again, when it comes to meat and dairy, there's a really huge difference depending on how that meat and dairy is produced and what those animals are eating. That makes a massive difference.
And were they given medications?
Were they given medications? Are they eating grains or greens? And as well, when it comes to dairy, for example, there's a big difference between fluid milk and fermented dairy products. Now, some people can't tolerate dairy at all, and it's inflammatory for them. Mm-hmm. But for others, there is a big difference between fluid milk, which is high in something called galactose, which is just inflammatory across the board. Mm-hmm. When you add some bacteria to that and you ferment it, the galactose disappears, and you have quite a different type of food for the most part.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get inflammation from eating broccoli, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
I'm just saying. I'll stop there. Thanks for stopping by today. You in British Columbia today?
Today I am in near and closer to Toronto, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. You're moving around. Did they stick you in some witness protection program or something? Last time you're on the move, man. You're a moving target.
Natural Factors is a family-owned company based in British Columbia, based in Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I am at my home office, which is really close to Toronto.
Yeah, I like Toronto. Very cosmopolitan city. I told you the story. I was there one time visiting. I was standing at a red light, and waiting for the red light, I heard somebody speak Italian, somebody speak Russian, English, and some other language at the red light.
That's very common in the city, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think are the modifiable risk factors for inflammation? What are some of the non-modifiable ones?
Well, the good news is more of the risk factors are modifiable, and really identifying those, understanding them, helps us to get to the heart and the root of inflammation. Stress is probably one of the top ones, psychosocial stressors, and mental, emotional stuff. Our body will respond to that by producing inflammation, just as it would by, say, a sprained ankle or twisting or your ankle or an injury. Diet is arguably the most important thing that we do every day, often several times a day, to put the gas or the brakes on inflammation. Massive impact. That's modifiable for sure. Toxins, those are also modifiable, and they will, our exposure to toxins will affect our inflammatory responses. Exercise, being completely physically inactive, surprisingly, creates inflammation in the body.
Sedentary, like being sedentary.
Yep, being sedentary creates inflammation. I mean, doing too much exercise always causes inflammation, but usually it's is a measured, healthy amount. Mm-hmm. Smoking, of course.
Alcohol,
yeah, definitely.
Processed foods.
Processed foods, absolutely. Poor sleep. We have to have good quality sleep to have a balanced inflammatory process. Mm-hmm. Nutrient deficiencies will cause nutrient excesses technically could, but that's much less common. But being deficient in a number of any one of a number of nutrients will affect our inflammatory process. And gum disease is a big one. Any infection will cause inflammation in the body, but I mentioned gum disease because it's one that tends to be pretty common, can be chronic and overlooked. And if there's a little pocket of infection in one of your gums and your body is continually trying to fight that or keep that under control, it's going to be really hard to shut off inflammation in other areas of the body when that's necessary.
Periodontal disease is not managed, treated, can get linked to heart disease, can it not?
Heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all kinds of chronic conditions.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I'm so glad you raised that point. In fact, I have a dentist appointment at 4 o'clock. Gary heard me make it yesterday. I go 4 times a year, get my teeth cleaned, and 4 times a year.
That's good. That means you can get them checked out, make sure there isn't any infection lurking in there, because it's so
exactly,
common.
Absolutely, Dr. K. That is a man. People, if they only knew, if they only knew, they don't take care of they think, just brushing. No, you got to do more than brush. Floss. We can get into that on another show. But then, let me ask you this. Do you think, what's the genetic connection to inflammation?
Oh, of course, there's always going to be that. There will always be those among us who are genetically more prone or whose inflammatory responses are higher or stronger, and those that are less. So we always have to balance that.
All right. We'll come back. We'll make the 2 eye connections, inflammation and immune system.
Are you suffering from those awful allergies? Hay fever, sneezing, watery eyes. Here's some advice.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's preferred prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The preferred prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
It's fast acting, and it may even help prevent your allergies from returning. Available at vitamin discount centers, Richards, Rollin' Oats, Vitamin Shop, Nutrition Smart, and other fine health food stores.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. If you can't stick around for the entire show, catch up with us later on your phone using the iHeartRadio app. Look for Let's Talk Nutrition under podcasts.
Tomorrow is Free Movie Friday, thanks to Atom Tickets. Tomorrow, listen to 1250 WHNZ for your chance to win free movie tickets. Atom Tickets, where you can browse movie titles, buy tickets, invite friends, pre-order concessions, all from your phone, and skip the lines at the theater. If you download the Atom Tickets app right now, they're giving new users $5 off their first movie with promo code RADIOVIP. Listen tomorrow to 1250 WHNZ for your chance to win free movie tickets from Atom Tickets.
Tampa Bay Storm football.
Oh, he's got to get around some people. He's still on his feet. He may be in. It's a touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Hear the call Saturday night at 6:30 as the Storm face down the Soul in Arena Bowl 30.
No one open. Hippert's in trouble. He's going to throw it up, and Brown has a chance at it. He catches it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Not a bad throw and a really good catch.
On 1250 wins. WHNZ.
Welcome to America Speaks by Zip, the polling app that lets you tell the nation what you think. Download the Zip app today. It's Thursday, August 24th. Coffee and a nap? Some studies say coffee before a nap could give people a jolt of productivity. Are you into this idea? 52% of men and women polled don't think this would work for them, but the remaining feel that they need to give this a try immediately. Now, according to new research out of Penn State University, an avocado every day could help lower cholesterol, which reduces heart disease. Do you like avocados? Now, men and women polled were given 2 options here. 59% of them picked yum, love them. The other 41% picked the option that stated, ew, they're green and squishy. Answer all of life's opinion-based questions with just one swipe. Download Zip, the polling app that lets you tell the nation what you think. It's in the App Store, it's free, and 100% anonymous.
Don't miss
miss Premios Tu Mundo with your favorite stars, the music that moves you, and many surprises. The competition's going to be fierce. Premios Tu Mundo, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, only on Telemundo. Don't miss Premios Tu Mundo, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, only on Telemundo.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 800-908-0586, 800-908-0586.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Westbound Fletcher Avenue remains closed at Telecom Parkway with repairs from a water main break. There's an accident in Apollo Beach on US 41 at Laurie Dixon Road, a crash in the right lane northbound on 50th Street at Palm River Road, and a wreck in Pinellas County on 49th Street at 83rd Terrace. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. This week, save at Whole Foods Market with air-chilled whole chickens for $1.79 per pound. And responsibly farmed shrimp skewers are 25% off now through Tuesday. Stop by Whole Foods Market today.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Showers and storms expected this afternoon, especially some heavy rainfall with the showers that roll through also. Expect some more clouds through the afternoon. A little cooler today in the low 90s. The rain chance at 60%. Showers and storms continue through the evening and overnight with the low hitting the upper 70s. Tomorrow, 90 for a high. We'll see more clouds and the rain chance staying about 70%. Dow's up a point to 21,813. NASDAQ flat. The S&P index gaining a point as well. Impact Radio 1250 wins WHNZ. Grab the iHeartRadio app. Find it on your app store on any of your devices or at WHNZ.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue is my guest today. Dr. Kate is a naturopathic physician, went to the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. She frequently will show up on TV and radio, like this show, for example, educating others about health, wellness, and well-being. She is an educator specifically, too, though, for Natural Factors, one of my favorite companies. And she is an expert, for sure, in the practice of natural medicine. Dr. Kate, welcome back. Real quick, and then I'd like to hear your solutions to how to manage inflammation better. What's the inflammation immune system connection? Please share that with the listener and viewer in brief.
Well, so important, and you know, we could talk about that all day, but
I know.
Really, our immune system is designed, of course, to protect us against bacteria, viruses, colds and flus, as well as cancer, for example, finding those cancer cells as they arise, as they do, and keeping them in check. And when our immune system is busy with inflammation, or inflammation's happening in the body, our immune system may not be as effective as it should be. And so maybe some of those cells will slip by undetected, or maybe some more of those bugs will get into the body. And so when the immune system is when there's inflammation present, then the immune system isn't working as well as it should be.
Mm-hmm. People sometimes will go into a health store and buy immune amplifying supplements. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole list we could give. And they really shouldn't do that. They're perfectly fine, they're healthy, and they say, I need to boost my immune system. That could be a mistake, can it?
It can be, yeah. Those products have their place, and they can be used appropriately, but just to take them to say across the board, I need to boost my immunity, it can be short-sighted, and it's not necessarily what needs to be done to keep you healthy.
You're listening to Dr. Kate Rheaume-Bleue. She is the author of Vitamin K2 and the Calcium Paradox. You can find that book. It's easy to find. How do, generally speaking, people that are suffering from inflammation systemically, let me give you maybe more concrete here. Let's say that someone, joint pain, they have inflammation due to an injury, inflammation due to an infection, and it's now systemic. Is there a way for them to manage that without interfering and turning everything upside down?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, we talked before about causes of inflammation. You want to pay attention to those. Ultimately, though, while you're trying to manage those, people want to feel better faster, and you can safely and naturally. There are a number of natural products, for example, that help balance our inflammatory response. Curcumin is probably the best known of those and has the most research behind it. It is a fantastic natural anti-inflammatory that has been shown to be helpful for a whole range of conditions related to inflammation, which is pretty much everything, you know, from cancer and cardiovascular disease and neurodegenerative conditions and you name it. And so that is one that is usually quite, and arthritis is probably the number one reason people reach for curcumin, because of that painful inflammatory condition that affects the joints. And when it comes to curcumin, however, there is a huge difference between the various products that you'll find on the market because of their differences in absorbability, because curcumin actually is not generally that well absorbed. And so this is where you want to look for a professional strength, highly absorbable form of curcumin, which is why I tend to go with the Theracurmin.
Theracurmin is a supplement sold, manufactured and sold by Natural Factors. And Dr. Kate makes a wonderful point. Lately, companies have figured out, and scientists have known for a while, that that molecule is very difficult to get into a cell and to get absorbed. And it needs an escort, it needs something to help get into the cell and all that business. Theracurmin has such a delivery system, doesn't it?
That's right. The curcumin molecule or particle itself has been essentially chopped down to make it very, very tiny. That helps with absorption. And it's coated with something called gum gatti. It's a gum, vegetable-based gum.
Gum gatti, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and it carries the curcumin particle. It keeps it individual once you grind it down to this tiny, tiny particle, and coats it and makes it possible to absorb. And the absorption rates are unparalleled. The blood levels that you can get with the Theracurmin are remarkable and consistent even with relatively small doses, and that's the key to clinical results. It has the most published clinical trials behind it of any form of curcumin on the market.
So what Natural Factors wanted to do was, I don't know if there's such a word, solubilize or make more soluble the molecule, the curcumin, and through this process have figured out how to make produce these very microscopic particles that they said are 100 times smaller than the regular curcumin powder. This is interesting. And some people don't. I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, and they had a product. I won't mention the name, and it doesn't have that kind of system or technology or science to make the curcumin more absorbable. And I said, you're wasting your money. This product it's just raw curcumin. Curcumin, it doesn't
exactly.
have. Yeah, I said
it's
not.
difficult for people to see that from labels. It's impossible, in fact, to tell that from a label. If your product lists, 1,500 milligrams of curcumin, you think, wow, that's a lot. I'll buy that, and it seems really inexpensive compared to, say, Theracurmin. You may have 30 or 60 milligrams. Doesn't seem like a lot, but the difference is with a raw curcumin product, you may be taking 1,500 milligrams and absorbing none of it or almost none of it, and you're not getting that effect compared to the Theracurmin. We know that you're absorbing 99.9% of it, and you're getting that result that you want.
And you can visit naturalfactors.com and learn more about Theracurmin, Theracurmin, Theracurmin. Generally speaking, it provides, its effect is to help manage the inflammation, all right, that could stem from an injury or an infection or the immune system going haywire. And I've used it, of course, during all my treatment over the last 10 months. I stopped all supplements because I didn't want to interfere with the free radicals that were supposed to kill the cancer cells. Yeah. So I'll be back on the Theracurmin now. Come back, we'll give you the LTN Health question of the day. Right answer, $25 supplement gift card coast to coast.
Did you know that the most common form of calcium supplement today is calcium carbonate, also known as limestone?
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
Is getting a good night's sleep a challenge? Fortunately, there's a superior fast-acting sleep formula called Tranquil Sleep from Natural Factors. This non-habit-forming supplement contains a unique combination of melatonin, 5-HTP, and L-theanine, which works in harmony with your body's natural sleep hormones. Tranquil Sleep can help you fall asleep, stay asleep, sleep sounder, and wake up refreshed, all without feeling drowsy in the morning. The key benefit comes from increasing the time spent in the deeper stages of sleep. It's only in these deeper levels of sleep that we truly experience the rejuvenation, regeneration, and recuperation that sleep provides. Even if you think you get a good night's sleep, give Tranquil Sleep a try. You might be surprised with how much better you've slept by waking up with more energy and enthusiasm to start your day. Learn more at naturalfactors.com.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural
health question of the day. Earlier, I was talking about this new study where smokers in clinical trials told those running the smoking cessation program that they had quit smoking when they didn't. So researchers did a study of those programs to see how frequent people were dishonest about quitting. Here's the question. In this sample of 822 self-reported quitters that failed the saliva test, that was their downfall. You can't trick biology in that sense. What percent of the 822 really did not quit when they said that they did? Okay? Was it 4%, 14%, or 40%? What percent of individuals, of the 822 individuals who said that they were self-reported quitters, really didn't quit and lied or didn't tell the truth, however you want? I don't mean to be harsh. 4%, 14%, or 40%? Right answer, $25 gift card.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
Dr. Kate, welcome back. So Theracurmin is very effective. I think isn't ND Anderson doing some studies with Theracurmin, if you know?
I believe so. I know there are a number of research institutes doing studies right now, ongoing clinical trials with Theracurmin. And I need to refresh on the top of my head where those are happening, but it is there's some pretty fascinating research happening.
Is there something, what other dietary supplements from natural factors can be included in a repertoire for a consumer to moderate, manage, or otherwise do better with the inflammatory response?
Well, Theracurmin is available on its own in a regular and double strength concentration, and it's also available in a line of what are called optimizers. These are combinations, formulas that combine the Theracurmin with other ingredients that address either joint health, cardiovascular health, cognitive health, or whole body health. So other key ingredients to address those concerns. For example, with the joint optimizer, it combines Theracurmin with Boswellia, another well-known anti-inflammatory. Devil's Claw, it's an ingredient that's been extensively studied for osteoarthritis in particular, especially of the knees, but all the joints. Knees are just easy to study. And a number of other ingredients to help with pain relief, fast and effective pain relief, while that healing process and inflammation process gets under control.
So there's a line of products that they're called optimizers, cardio optimizer for different systems of the body, yes?
That's right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The memory optimizer, for example, combines Theracurmin, which has at least 10 known neuroprotective actions, good for the brain cells in at least 10 ways, with a number of other ingredients, including Bacopa, Indian water hyssop. It's been shown to increase acetylcholine levels, so that's really important for memory.
These are sold in fine health stores throughout North America, in stores that are trying to be fine. Let's go to Lansdale, Pennsylvania. That's near Philadelphia. We have a big viewing and listening audience in that area. We love it. Betty, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I am just terrific.
I like that. So this study on smoking cessation, where they looked at people in these programs that went through the program, and then they were evaluated, interviewed, and then they told the folks running the program, yeah, I quit. Well, out of the 822 in this one study that they looked at, what percent of that 822 really didn't tell the truth, unfortunately, and didn't quit? Was it 4, 14, or 40%?
40%.
I know. And, I'm not calling them liars to be harsh. They were dishonest about it. That's difficult and there could be a variety of reasons why they did it, but smoking is so hard, so difficult. Have you ever smoked?
Never.
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 Mm-hmm. Have you been around people that smoked?
Yes, I have, and I see that it's very difficult, especially when they're under stress.
Yeah. It becomes so ritualized in day-to-day behavior. That's not only is there a biochemical addiction, but there's a psycho-emotional, behavioral addiction that is coupled with it, and that's as with drugs generally, it makes it so difficult to quit. But congratulations, you won a $25 supplement gift card. Are you new to the show, or?
No, I've listened to you probably since you started on our local radio station.
Well, thank you very much.
What is your local station?
What is your local station?
WNPV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of Lansdale.
Out of Lansdale. Good people there.
Yes, they are.
Were you born and raised there?
Locally, yes.
Yeah. So.
North Wales, Lansdale, Souderton.
Yeah, up in that. Yeah, good people
all
up there.
All within about 10 miles of each other.
Exactly. Well, I was born, as you know, you can tell from my dialect, in Pittsburgh, but blue-collar, hard-working people. Well,
thanks very much.
We appreciate your listenership. Thanks for calling in today. Congratulations.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Dr. Kate, thank you. I'm sorry I won't get to meet you in Baltimore, maybe in California.
That's right, but we'll see each other next time.
That's right, because we're
Next time we're on the show. Yep.
Right, because we're going to put you on video chat, and then the audience can really see who you are, and that'll be great.
I'm looking forward to it.
We are too. Naturalfactors.com. Their products sold in fine health stores throughout North America. That optimizer line is terrific. Take a look at that for inflammation. Take a look at Theracurament as a freestanding supplement. That is something you take every day. You have inflammation for one reason or another. Boy, oh boy. Terrific. I love that product. I use it. Well, I'll start using it again every day. Dr. Kate, thank you again for contributing to the show. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. Have a wonderful day today. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. Always fresh, nothing processed. LTN, where your health is your wealth.